Well, the Nigeria Football Federation will be meeting up with they will form a five-man delegation to London to visit ailing Super Eagles goalkeeper Carl Ikeme in hospital. Ikeme was diagnosed with acute leukemia last week and has since been hospitalized in London, where he is currently receiving treatment. That's one of the stories we're tracking for you at the moment. And the Nigeria Football Federation looking to get preparation for the African Nations Championship qualifier in full swing. A camp resumption date of July 16th in Kaduna has been approved by the NFF. Coach Salisu Yusuf has released his 30-man squad for the clash against the winner in the game between Togo and Benin Republic in August. Well, the NFF Technical Committee are saying necessary moves will be made for the quick release of these players from their Nigerian clubs. And so joining me live at this point in time is Nigeria Professional Football League match assessor and match commissioner Adewale Ajayi. Glad to have you on TVC News at this time. Okay, Wale, I'll start by asking you, there are insinuations that the players selected by Salisu Yusuf from the Nigerian Premier League sides for the CHAN qualifiers really are not the best in the league at the moment. Do you subscribe to that assertion?
Yeah, I think they are not the best. Some of us have followed the league for the past 5-6 years, and of course, looking at the players that were invited by Salisu Yusuf, you begin to wonder why certain players made it to the list and why certain players were not invited by the coach. A player like Chima Akas was invited from Eyimba. Akas has played just a few matches this season, and I think that Akas do not deserve to be in that team. There's another player called Elisha Golbe. He was also invited. Golbe plays for ABS Football Club. I think that he does not also deserve to be part of that team. We feel that players like NS Governor, who has had a wonderful season playing for ABS this season, should be in that team. A player like Destiny Ashade, who plays for Katsina United Football Club, also should be in that team. We're also looking at a good goalkeeper like Olonwuleke Ojo, who plays his trade, who was formerly with Sunshine Stars and now plays football with Aqua United. He also deserves to be in that team. So some of us wonder why the coach decided to invite certain players and left out a few players. I spoke with the chairman technical of the NFF, and he said that most of these players were not invited. That were not invited will still be considered. And I hope that in days to come, these players will be given a chance to be part of the team.
Okay, Wale, do you think those saddled with the responsibility of selecting players were compromised? Do you think so?
I cannot say they were compromised. I can only say that they didn't do their homework well. Promise, you know what it means. Most of these coaches don't normally take their time to go and look at the players. They don't even have scouts that will go out there to look at the players. Some of us are at match venues every weekend seeing these players play on the pitch. So we know the players that are actually playing. We know the players that are informed. You invited a player that has scored just 2 goals from the league, a player that has scored 2 goals in the league, and left out a player that has scored 11 goals in the league. Okpotu was not invited. Okpotu of Lobby Stars was not invited. Obaje, who also plays for FC Ifeanyi, was not invited. He scored his 11th goal just yesterday, and we saw players like Eduwo, who has only scored 3 goals this season, invited to the team. I think that the coaches really did not do their homework well. They need to do more. They really need to ask questions, and answers will be provided. You can't invite players that have not got what it takes to be in the national team. The Super Eagles is our national team, and of course, promise. One thing that I think is the fact that some agents are using this national team to really to advertise their players. They feel that the CHAN national team is the best platform for them to advertise their talent. So I don't think that we should allow that to happen. The team camp will open in Kaduna on the 16th of this month, and I think that only the best players should be given a chance to be in the team.
There have been a lot of talks about the calling of Rabiu Ali from Kano Pillars, who's been part of the CHAN team again and again and again. Well, you are an MPFL match assessor. You work closely with the organizers of the league. Well, Gerard talks about an improvement in the Nigerian league quality, and yet Nigerian clubs are struggling in continental competitions. This is a big contradiction. How do we, reconcile this?
Well, a lot has to be done. We need to put lot in place. I think that we don't have the quality of players to win the CAF Champions League. Of course, you know that last season it was won by Mamelodi Sundowns of South Africa. And of course, if you look at the South African league and compare it with the NPFL, the standard is a little bit different. I think the South African league is better than what we have in the NPFL. But I think we'll get there someday. What we need to put in place is the fact that our club side should start signing players from outside Nigeria. Majority of the players that you have in the Nigerian league are players concentrated here at home. We should start looking at players that play their trade outside Nigeria, because I think that the standard of the league will improve once you start getting foreigners to come into the league. If you watch the EPL today, the reason why the EPL is one of the biggest leagues, or perhaps the best league in the world, is the fact that majority of the players that apply their trade in the EPL are players that are scattered across Europe and, of course, South America. So we should start thinking of getting players from outside to come and play in our league. Then beyond that, too, I think officiating in the Nigerian league has not been the best. The best team most time has not won the league. We need to improve our officiating and also make sure that things are done right in the league. If this happens, then we can start thinking of winning, getting the best team to represent us in continental competitions.
Okay, many thanks to you, Adewale Ajayi, a match assessor and, of course, a match commissioner in the Nigeria Professional Football League. Many thanks for sharing your thoughts with us on TVC News at this time.